Good morning. My name is Michael R. Roser, and I am co-founder and chief coaching facilitator for Strategic Life Coaching, LLC. Please visit us for this video and others at abundantlifeslc.com. This morning, I'm really excited to make this video because I had an epiphany of sorts, and I'd love to share it with you guys. I was reading an article put out by the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, their monthly publication called Grapevine. And in that was a woman, I believe from New York, who had titled her article Puzzled. And that caught my eye, and it caught the eye of the chairman of the meeting, who decided to read that at the meeting. And as they were reading, she described being puzzled as a state of mind, and how she continued to do the same activities and have the same thoughts, thereby doing the same actions and then having the same feelings as a result, thusly being stuck in her life and stuck in her ability to overcome her addiction. And I wrote some notes down because, I want to make sure that I, get what's off my heart in an organized fashion. And it occurred to me that, puzzled being a state of mind, that our lives, yours and mine, are really a puzzle. And I decided, along with some help from some very good people, as I've mentioned in previous videos, that I had to turn for help in order to get me out of this state of being stuck. And one of the benefits of living a spiritual life was it taught me just put the puzzle together and see what it looks like. And I was so spiritually bankrupt, I guess, that I looked at my life and those puzzle pieces of my life, and it was an unorganized pile that just sat in the middle of my everyday. And it occurred to me that I was afraid, and I didn't think I was afraid of anything, and as it turns out, I was afraid of a lot of things. I didn't want to put that puzzle together. I was certain that when I put that puzzle together, it was going to show a picture of who I really was, and I didn't want to look at it, plain and simple. But here's the thing that I discovered is every day, whether we like it or not, whether you believe in a God, a higher power, or you just believe that, each day comes as it comes, we get another little puzzle piece. And it never occurred to me that I was just piling those puzzle pieces on top of one another in an unorganized, chaotic pile, and I couldn't see anything. And so as I started with some help to actually put that puzzle together, yes, it revealed a lot of bad things and a lot of bad actions and a lot of bad decisions that I had done in my life. And it took me a long time, and it took a lot of courage, frankly, and a lot of self-reflection to just keep putting those pieces of that puzzle together and to actually see what it's going to look like. And then as I saw that picture and as I reflected upon that picture, not only was there some things in there that I didn't like, but there was also some things in there that I really liked and really cherished. My kids, my college education, my business career, my athletic endeavors that I had been successful at. And it allowed me to be right-sized. It didn't allow me to get too far ahead of myself and, manic and in my ego, but it also pulled me out of that I'm just a real piece of crap and that I've done all these bad things and there's no hope for me going forward. And so as I got into a spiritual program and as I started to apply religious things in my daily life, which I've called spirituality in my life, as I look back on it now, I've been sober for 770 days as of today, and the magnificence of it is tremendous because those little tiny pieces, 770 of them, adding it to my picture on a daily basis has changed that picture into something that I could never have imagined. And if I'd have allowed those 770 pieces to pile up the way that it was going, my picture just would have added 770 more days of misery and self-doubt and resentments and anger and fear. And so what changed? And so as I began to explore this God as I understand God, things really changed for me. And as I look at that picture now, it's very clear to me on February 8th, 2018, exactly how dramatic that picture changed from where it was to what it is now. And so I don't have to believe in anything. All I have to believe is that if I continue to pray every morning, if I continue to meditate and I continue to stay disciplined to this way of life and bring that effort to it every day, it's changing. I can see it right in front of me. And so people that struggle with this idea of God, believe me, I get it. I felt I was a religious man, but I didn't apply it anywhere, so it really had little value to me other than the hour or so that I would go to Mass at the Catholic Church in Libertyville, Illinois. I would feel better as a result of walking out of the building than when I walked in. But I couldn't sustain that. I couldn't keep that feeling going for any period or any meaningful period of time. So if you want, as I've said in previous videos, and again, I'm doing this to try to bring this to other people who are found themselves stuck like I did, think of God as, good, orderly direction versus this God that's, over everything, or just the great outdoors, if you will. Connecting to something other than myself that can help me on a daily basis try to improve and change not only the way that I'm acting, but more importantly, changing the way that I think, because my thoughts were dictating my actions, then my actions weren't the way I wanted them, and then I had bad feelings after that. Guilt, remorse, frustration, anger, all of that. So by changing how I'm thinking, I found my actions over time fell into line, and I'm living completely differently. And now the feelings that I have are ones of joy and love and peace and serenity, something that I had no idea how to garner in my past life. So again, if it's, I'm struggling with, the God thing, as I like to call it, then, again, set that off to the side and think of just following some better direction in your life. And the reason I believe that that's important is because even if I don't believe in a God, and even if I believe that these pieces of this life puzzle are random in their nature, at least by putting together the puzzle of my life and at least seeing it in front of me, today's puzzle piece, at least I know where it's going. If I get nothing else, at least I know where it's going to fit. But I believe not only by following a spiritual program can you put those pieces of the puzzle where they're supposed to be on a daily basis, but I believe that God, as I understand God, is actually changing the puzzle pieces themselves. And again, whether you believe in that or not, it doesn't really matter, because if you change what you're doing on a daily basis, you are going to get different results. Who or whomever you give the credit for that to, even if it's yourself. So I look at it and I can see now where my life is heading much better. It doesn't mean that there isn't challenges that come and there isn't storms that come in to life, that those days' puzzle pieces aren't exactly what I wanted. But I look at them, I deal with them, and I place them where they're supposed to go. And so the other important thing that I learned from this process is that all I'm responsible for is the effort on a day-to-day basis. I am not in the outcome business. And one last thing I'll tell you, because it was big for me. I don't know if it will be for you, but that puzzle is never completed until the last day that you're on this earth. That's the last piece that gets put in, hopefully by somebody who's loving you, that puts it in for you, because you're not able to do it because you've passed. I've passed. And to me, then, that dictates that this mosaic of my life, this puzzle, is going to continue to change, and it's going to continue to take different shape. And I'm not in control of it, but it's a beautiful picture. I can now see that what I'm adding to it on a daily basis is very colorful. It's very vivid. It's very sharp, in contrast of the grays and the rounded off that my life used to be. And so I don't think of it anymore as I've got to get this puzzle done. I've got to complete it. I've got to be happy. You know, to me, putting those pieces together each day is a journey. And any period of time that you look at, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, each one of those little puzzles, given a little bit of time, you can really see a dramatic difference. And you know, I love it. And so what I encourage all of you to do, if you're struggling with a pile of what appears to be just chaotic puzzle pieces, take the time, and it will take some time, because if you're like me and you let your entire life build up, that's a pretty enormous pile that has to be dealt with. But if you take them one at a time, and you sit and be committed and own and accept whatever that picture portrays for you, as I did, and I liked more of it than I thought I was going to, then the joy of changing your thinking, changing your actions, thusly changing your feelings, add such beautiful pieces to that puzzle. And if you're granted enough days on the earth, which some people are not, that you can continue to add good pieces to that puzzle, I hope you see, as I have seen, that it really changes for the better. Good luck, and God bless you as you understand God.